Welcome to this talk on Scuttlebutt, the gossiping protocol. Um, Today, I will guide you through a glimpse into the Scuttleverse, which is a common phrase in the community for what exists in Scuttlebutt. Before we dive in, I'd like to talk a little bit about the contemporary. So we live in a world where currently private data is being turned into a commodity and being traded. Access to communication is in the hands of benevolent, hopefully, governments. And one of the more common forms of warfare is through digital attacks on infrastructure. These issues are some of the issues that have made the people who are on Scuttlebutt go towards Scuttlebutt. We have a society where the more common giants are the Goliaths of society, and their names are more familiar to us than those of our own neighbors. A society where these forms of structures are more common than these. So, to build a better world, where data is in the hands of its originators and communities, where the right to communication is a given and can't be censored, where privacy is a right and social trust is the basis. We have Scuttlebutt. So Scuttlebutt, originally the term is boat slang for gossip. It's where sailors would gather and talk on the boats. Scuttlebutt itself, and I'm going to try to be clear because I won't be going too much into what Scuttlebutt is and how it functions in this presentation, but Scuttlebutt itself is an offline first gossiping protocol, and it replicates data over the social graph. It is also private and communal, and in some ways, private because it's communal. It was created by Dominic, a sailing man in New Zealand, on his boat, and originally with the purpose of him being able to communicate with his friends while he was off the grid. So, in New Zealand, there's also some other projects, and now I'd like to start inviting you into the realm of the Scuttleverse. So, to start off, in New Zealand, we have a project currently called AHAU, which is a application built on top of Scuttlebutt using the Scuttlebutt protocol. And it's by Maori for Maori, invented by Maui. AHAU is a wahanu, I hope I pronounced that right, family's data platform. It helps tribal communities capture, preserve, and share important information and histories into secure databases. AHAU is also a project that has been collaborated partly by some folks, or specifically Luandro in Brazil. And Luandro, as a person, works a lot with the indigenous communities in the Amazonas and is specifically working on a project called Mohino Mesh. So Mohino Mesh is an initiative, not actually for Maori, it says wrong there, but it's an initiative by Luandro and has been working with the Krahos tribe to develop their capacity for data sovereignty. Specifically, he's also been working with LoRa and Beaver Router. To move north in the Americas, we have the United States and Canada, actually. And here, primarily, but also with collaborators from all over the world, Oasis is being developed. And Oasis is a desktop app, the newest desktop app developed or initiated by Christian Bundy. It's running completely without JavaScript as well, unlike the Scuttlebutt protocol. And it runs in the browser. To move across some oceans into Europe. In Europe, we have projects such as the one I'm part of, which is the NGI Pointer funded and supported project, with Scuttlebutt, where we are redeveloping the backend of the Scuttlebutt protocol to make it easier for onboarding, to make it more scalable, to make the usability a bit higher, and to transform the design a bit while keeping to its original values. Scuttlebutt with NGI Pointer is a team with Cryptics, Andre Staltz, Ari, and me. Yes. In Europe, we also have the Scuttlebutt European Collective, which is a network of European scuttlebutters, butts as it's more commonly known, who together talk and organize in a decentralized manner. The Scuttleshell browser is another really interesting project that's being developed by Farewell Utopia. And it's a web extension that allows web pages to access SSB and enabling thus interoperability. Another really interesting project by Farewell Utopia is Patchboot, which, as he so nicely put it, an emerging standard, cool face, for distributed Scuttlebutt clients over Scuttlebutt. So a distributed form of application updating, I guess you could say. TrustNet is another European project design, which was a master thesis by CBLGH, Copley. And it's an algorithm for trust-based distributed and communal moderation. And it functions very much like liquid democracy, but you can distribute trust for blocking. So yeah, it's a distributed form of moderation where you don't have to have a top-down administrator format. Then we have New Zealand again, because when I was building this presentation, I just found a new post by Utunga. And it was posted 3 days ago when I found it. And they have apparently just launched a new peer-to-peer credit network called Cashless on Scuttlebutt. So that's exciting too, and I look forward to hearing more about it. And if you look forward to hearing more, then you should also join Scuttlebutt and find out more. And for any more questions or guidance on getting on, meet me in the Q&A room and we can get going. Thank you.